Hi, welcome back. Welcome all my new subscribers. I'm very happy to finally give you some more information. This is all about learning to make your own shoes. I'm working off of this little booklet which now can be downloaded from my blog. I'm giving you all the information about the link in the description of this video. This is a booklet from around the time of the First World War where people had more time than money. So this is not about cheap and fast. This is about having time and using whatever materials you have at hand. There is a little pattern sheet which you will also be able to download, but you're going to have to piece it together because it's an oversized paper. You should be able to do that just fine though. I also have a second little booklet which is from around the exact same time. I think it's from the same editor. There is just a little bit more and different information in this, which I'm adding into my experience here. So shoes can be divided into two groups, two kinds of shoes. They're house shoes, obviously, or street shoes, which is the main difference is going to be the shoe sole. But even in house shoes, you will find that if you don't take care of making a good sole, there's really no point in making house shoes at all, because that's going to be the part that's going to fall apart fastest. Also, the shoes can be divided into two groups in regards to how their patterns are made. It's either a flat paper pattern, something that might look like this, which is kind of like a pattern for sewing, you know, clothing, and you just sew it together. Or shoes can be made over lasts, which is like making dresses over a dress form. So that is the second type of shoe. We're going to get to that, but much later. I need more experience before I can do that. Then also there are shoes, mainly house shoes, that where the left and the right foot have the same exact pattern. There is no difference between left and right. You might know that from espadrilles. They're usually like that. And then of course there are the ones that have a left and a right. We are right now dealing with the very basic, very easiest, the easiest type of shoe, which is a house shoe from a paper pattern, which has no difference between left and right. And today I'm only showing you different types of soles. So the very simplest one would be this. It's made from two types of fabric, two different kinds of fabric. They suggest you use fabrics that are a little sturdier than your normal, you know, cotton. You can, for example, use wools, or in some I even used an old towel. And of course denim is always great, or felt. This is a big piece of wool, felted wool. This is linen. You know, anything that is a little sturdier. And you will need good glue that stays elastic when dry, very important. But they sell that in any hardware store nowadays, really. And it's not very expensive either. So that first sole that I showed you, like I said, it's made from two types of fabric. And it's very important, these two fabrics are glued together, which already makes it sturdier. Then I have a little tip for you how gluing gets a little easier. I always do it on top of an old magazine. Then of course you have to read the instructions on your glue. In my case I have to apply it on both sides, or on each of the two soles, let it dry and then put it together. So I'm doing this on top of a magazine using a shashlik stick, as you can see. Be careful if, as in my case here, you have some glue on the magazine. Don't move the sole anymore, which is why I'm holding it down, so you don't get glue on the other side of the sole. Okay, and apply it generously and make sure you go all the way to the edges. That's important. Now I'm pulling it down because I have that glue on top there that I don't want to have on the other side. You can use another shashlik stick or whatever to hold it down and not get the glue on your fingers. Also, by the way, make it near an open window or something, because that glue, it's not nice to breathe in all day long. So then you remove the sole from that old magazine, slide everything off, and now you can just rip off a page and have a clean surface again. This works really well for me, and I don't ever get glue spots over everything. Now I'm looking at the two soles that I've prepared already. They're dry to the touch. I'm making sure, yes, they are. And then I'm putting them together very carefully, because you cannot adjust it anymore after putting them together once. So do it slowly, concentrate while you're doing it. And then apply a lot of pressure. You can step on it, of course, just apply a lot of pressure. And then I sewed them together using an awl. Of course, yes, I could have done that with a machine. I just wanted to see how it is using an awl. I'm also showing you in a little video how that stitch goes, because if you're going to want to learn how to make shoes, sooner or later you're going to have to learn how to deal with an awl. And it's not difficult. This is how you're using an awl. Mine is not a very good one, I admit, but it serves its purpose anyway. Use a sturdy thread and make both ends the same length. With your first stitch through the soles, you're going to pull one of the ends of the thread all the way to the other side. Like I say, both ends are the same length approximately. So then you pull the awl back out, and this is your beginning. Now it's important to pay attention to where you're coming from and where you're going to. And you have to hold the awl so that the thread doesn't get twisted. So you stitch it in with the loose end in the direction of where you're going to. You go through the soles with the awl, pull it back slightly so that a loop forms on the other side, at the side of the awl where you are coming from. That is very important. You make the loop a little bigger and you pull the thread from the other side of the sole through that loop and the awl back out. Now don't pull too hard, or that loop from the other thread is coming to the surface. Also don't pull it too far back, or you'll have the same problem on the other side. The two threads should cross invisibly between, the two soles. Now comes your second stitch. Again, pay attention to how you're facing the needle. Push it through, pull it back slightly so that a loop is forming. You can either make that loop bigger, or you pull the back thread through a needle, which will make it a little easier. But for whatever reason I decided to do it like this. Just make the loop a little bigger, and I pull the thread through, the awl back out, and this is your second stitch. Simple as that. So that's the simplest type of sole, 2 layers of fabric glued and stitched together. I'll come back with videos for all the other options of how you can make soles for your house shoes. Bye bye!